And just watch this.
Thank you. That will conclude today's press conference. Merci. Ça va.
Take it. Sorry, I'll take a question from Justin because I haven't seen him in a while.
Appreciate that. Prime Minister, the report does indicate that Han Dong, a former Liberal MP, was the unwitting beneficiary probably of the influence campaign on his nomination race. It indicates he went on to forge a relationship with the Chinese consulate in Toronto. And it said he was having conversations with the consulate about the two Michaels in detention in China, even if some of the reports were incorrect. Can you tell us what the nature of those conversations were? And do you see a path back into the Liberal caucus for Mr. Dong?
I think on this point, the report by Mr. Johnston was fairly unequivocal, that there were false allegations made against Mr. Dong, and I look forward to having conversations with him. He decided to step away from caucus in order to clear his name. I will hear from him on what his thinking is going forward.
Now, it's the follow-up question that matters.
Je pense que le rapport de M. Johnston a été très clair qu'il y avait des faussetés dans les allégations contre M. Dong. Comme vous savez, M. Dong a choisi de se retirer du caucus pour pouvoir lutter contre ces allégations. Je vais sûrement avoir une conversation avec lui sur comment il se trouve en ce moment-ci et c'est quoi ses réflexions pour les prochaines étapes.
Just finally, you're calling on Canadians to build trust, but as Mr. Johnson report makes clear, you had intelligence and you were briefed on an attempt by Beijing to meddle in our democracy, and you didn't tell the public. Given that, doesn't rebuilding trust have to start with you? And going forward, do you have to create a better disclosure regime?
Now, look at that stance. Read that body language. What is Justin Trudeau telling us here? He's saying, I can't believe this. I thought I had these guys bought and paid for. They're in my pocket. How can this reporter be asking me a real tough question? They're always asking the softball questions. But this guy actually doesn't believe me. And you see that look of shock in his face here. And it turns into real anger.
Discloses these sorts of attempts to meddle in our democracy, even or even especially when it benefits your party.
Sorry, Justin, I'm still hung up on the fact that you think I wasn't telling Canadians about foreign interference. I talked about foreign interference from the very beginnings of getting elected. That's why we moved forward on a committee of parliamentarians to oversee what our security agencies were doing. That's why in January of 2019, we created the elections protocol that ensured that while our 2019 election was going on, top public servants would be able to monitor through updates daily from our intelligence agencies the state of foreign interference into our elections. Now, we made those announcements in 2019, and we have continually talked about the threat of foreign interference since then. There's a NSI COP report going back to 2017 on foreign interference that I highly recommend people look at. I believe it was 2017. The subject of foreign interference isn't something that suddenly sprang up over the past months. This is something we have been taking seriously as a government for years. And not just here in Canada, but in 2018, when we hosted the G7 in Charlevoix, we created a rapid response mechanism for all G7 countries to respond to foreign interference in our democracies. So maybe you're just waking up to the fact that there's foreign interference, but I've been talking about it for years. And what...
He's been talking about it actually for about 3 weeks now, because that's the only reason this became an issue for him is because there was CSIS whistleblowers, one or more, who brought the story to the attention of the national media, and those press clippings dropped on Justin Trudeau's desk. Suddenly, he became aware of it in the last 2 months, maybe. Aware of it as an issue. But of course, he knew well before that China was interfering in Canadian elections, but he did nothing about it. And that's what the reporter is getting at here. Justin Trudeau, like it was an issue of prominence for him. Absolutely not. It certainly was not. And it is extremely frustrating to listen to this man try to manufacture the facts. That's exactly what he's doing here. And of course, and and for him to blame the media, saying that why weren't you guys reporting on this when that's the only reason he's suddenly concerned about it, is it has become a crisis management issue for the Liberal Party and the Trudeau government, because it's been front and center in the media. The media has been reporting on it, but he has the gall to suggest that it was the media not reporting on this. He was so concerned. His government made a priority out of this issue. And of course, it's all nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. I hope you're enjoying this channel as much as I enjoy putting the material on here. This is not just about politics. I sing some of my favorite songs from the Great American Songbook. And you can also watch my latest show where we do some of the news you're not going to hear anywhere else. But please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. If you want to be part of this station, please be a subscriber. We want you.